Hello, and welcome to How to Align the VIVO Model with the CT. This tutorial picks up from where we left off with how to choose a model with a CT. In the last video, we chose the model we wanted to use for alignment, and that model is shown on the right side of the screen here. You can hold down the left click button and turn the model to look at it in different orientations. On the left side of the screen, in your DICOM image, you should see the outline of the ventricles. This is what we will be working on first. To get started, let's click Edit Model under Operation Mode on the top right of the screen. You will notice that the DICOM is in an axial view. You will use this view for the entire alignment process by scrolling up and down through the DICOM. Before I begin, I like to open up my window nice and wide and check my brightness and saturation bars here at the bottom just to make sure I can see everything I want to see in my DICOM. Once those are adjusted, you're ready to begin manipulating the outline. So I'm going to left click on the outer outline, and you can see the red area beneath your crosshairs, and that is the area that you control. To increase this area, you would press Control and scroll wheel forward to highlight a larger area, scroll wheel backward to highlight a smaller area. And you can see that area that is in red here corresponds to a white area on your model. So these are directly related. So I'm just going to start by pulling this outline out a little bit because I know that we just need to bring this left ventricular wall out some. And then I can see over here, I probably need to bring my right ventricular wall out a little bit. Now, when you're adjusting, if your yellow line starts snapping back to its original position and will not let you make changes, just decrease the amount of red area that you're using and try again. And as I go through this process, save at various points just to make sure I don't lose any work. And we can see that this is matching up rather nicely here. You scroll up and down and make sure you line up throughout the entire scan. Make sure my septum is the right thickness there. But we match up rather well. Bring this just a little bit here. So after getting the outline to a point where it lines up pretty well, I'll close my DICOM window, and that makes the model larger. And now I'm going to work on the model to make some minor fine-tuning adjustments. I'm going to click wall thickness in the bottom right, and your right ventricle should be a nice orange color, which corresponds to this color bar here. This is in millimeters, so the wall thickness of the right ventricle should be somewhere in this orange area, and the wall thickness of the left ventricle should be within this green area. So in order to make these changes, I'm just going to control left click on this model, and I'm going to press shift and scroll wheel forward, and it's going to start adjusting the wall thickness for me. Now just go a couple clicks at a time with your mouse so that you don't get errors. But you just, when you want to move to a new area, you just hit Control, place the white area where you want it, and then shift and scroll wheel up. It's as simple as that. And a couple more areas here. Okay, and you can see that our right ventricle is mostly nice and orange, just a couple little tweaks up here, I think. So I want to make it a little thinner, so I'm going to control and then scroll wheel back, shift and scroll wheel back. Okay, and that's looking pretty good. Scroll wheel up just a little. Okay, and as I said, I save throughout the process just to avoid any issues down the road. So scroll wheel up a little bit. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. That looks pretty good. And I open my window back up. Just make sure everything still lines up over here, and it does. It looks nice and smooth there. I'm going to make one more minor adjustment, and that's the septum. You want the septum to be also within the 6 to 8 millimeter range. So I'm going to just decrease the thickness of the septum a little bit here. Okay. I'm going to save. And if your outline is accurate around the ventricles and your wall thickness is correct, you have completed the process. When learning the VIVO system, this process can take up to 30 minutes. As you become more comfortable with manipulating the outline, it won't take as long. The key to picking, the key to the whole process is to pick the best model before starting alignment. We're now ready to move on to torso segmentation and alignment, which will be discussed in the next tutorial. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for your time and attention.